Today, its stability. The metaphysical pattern does not fluctuate. It does not respond to conditions. It does not weaken when the physical world reports that it has not yet appeared. The stability of the pattern is one of its most important qualities, and understanding it precisely is what allows the thinker to remain with the pattern through what would otherwise move them away from it. This is the 7-minute daily focus, day 146 of 365, to focus on the world within from the world without. Today's focus, the law of pattern, stability of pattern. Pause for a moment. 6 days in, the first half of this cycle nears its end. The pattern is understood, its nature, its completeness, the ground that holds it. Today, its stability. The metaphysical pattern does not fluctuate. It does not respond to conditions. It does not weaken when the physical world reports that it has not yet appeared. The stability of the pattern is one of its most important qualities, and understanding it precisely is what allows the thinker to remain with the pattern through what would otherwise move them away from it. Pause. The metaphysical pattern holds the same substance as constant present reality. This is the precise statement of its stability. The law of actuality is constant present reality. Metaphysical reality does not fluctuate with time. It does not change with conditions. It is present, always. And the pattern, as a metaphysical reality, shares this quality. It is constant, it is present, it is not altered by what the physical world reports. The pattern today is the same as the pattern when it first arose within, unchanged, complete, stable. Thought is within, effect is without, thinking stands between. Pause for a moment. What then is the source of the instability the thinker often experiences? Not the pattern is stable. The instability is in the thinker's attention. When the 5 senses report conditions that appear to contradict the pattern, the thinker's attention is drawn outward, towards secondary reality, toward what has already expressed, and from that outward position, the pattern feels less certain, less present, less real. But this is not because the pattern has changed. The pattern has not changed. It is because the thinker's instrument of perception has shifted from the first sense, which perceives the pattern clearly, to the 5 senses, which cannot perceive it at all. The instability is in the instrument, not in the pattern. Pause for a moment. Consider what this means practically. When conditions appear unfavorable, when what is physically seen seems to contradict what is held within, the pattern has not weakened. The pattern is as complete and as stable as it was this morning, as it was the day before, as it was the day the thought first arose. What the physical world is showing the thinker is not the current state of the pattern. It is the expression of patterns already complete. Secondary reality, the past, and secondary reality, as always, has no authority over primary reality. The physical world cannot alter the metaphysical pattern. It can only alter what the thinker believes is happening. Pause. The stability of the pattern is also the stability of the law that governs it. The law of the physical is governed by time, space, and matter. It changes, it fluctuates, it is subject to conditions. This is secondary reality. The law that governs the pattern is primary reality, constant present reality, not subject to time, not subject to space, not subject to matter. And because the pattern is governed by primary reality, it holds the stability of primary reality, not the fluctuation of secondary reality. This is why the thinker can remain with the pattern through any condition, because the pattern itself is not moving. Only the physical world is moving, and the physical world is always secondary. Pause. The practical application of understanding the stability of the pattern is this. When conditions speak loudly, when the five senses deliver a report that seems to contradict what is held within, the thinker does not need to reassess the pattern. They do not need to reconsider whether it is still valid. They do not need to check whether it is still complete. They return to the first sense. They perceive the pattern within, and they confirm what is already true. The pattern is stable. The pattern is complete. The pattern has not changed. The work continues. Not doubtfulness, not struggle, not force. You are not pushing the seed, not pressure. You are not trying to make it happen, but steadfastness, focused. Remain aligned with what is within. Do not be moved by what is physically seen, because what is physically seen is always secondary to what is unfolding. Now, the affirmation for day 146. Pause for a moment. The pattern within my thought is stable. It does not fluctuate with conditions. It does not weaken with time. It holds the same substance as constant present reality. What the five senses report does not alter the pattern. What conditions appear to say does not diminish it. The instability I sometimes perceive is not in the pattern, it is in the instrument of my attention. And I return the instrument to the first sense. I perceive the pattern within, stable, complete, unchanged. And from that perception, thinking is directed upon the pattern. Development continues. And because the pattern is stable, and because development continues, it will unfold. And what unfolds must physically express, remember, by design, by focus,